William Carter sat still as the large room filled with shouting. Alien voices of all kinds rose up against each other, some deep and rumbling, others high and sharp. The Galactic Council meeting had turned into chaos after William made his announcement. Earth was leaving the Council. William watched as Vox Nal, the old Zentari who led the Council, tried to restore order. His purple scales shimmered under the bright lights as he waved his forearms and called for quiet. No one listened. William smiled a little. After 10 years as Earth's ambassador to the Council, he had never seen the aliens so upset. "This is an outrage," shouted the Prill representative, her glowing eyes flashing with anger. "Earth cannot simply withdraw from established treaties. The human systems are vital transit nodes," yelled another alien, this one a blob-like creature that changed colors with its emotions. Right now it was bright red. William stood up slowly. The room got quieter as everyone turned to look at him. "Earth has made its decision," he said calmly. "For too long, we have been treated as the galaxy's afterthought. We have evidence that many council races have been using Earth as a testing ground and stealing our resources. Our withdrawal is effective immediately." With that, William turned and walked out of the chamber. Susan Miller, his deputy, followed, close behind him. The shouting started again as soon as the door closed behind them. "That went about as expected," Susan said as they walked down the long hallway. The walls were made of a strange metal that glowed softly, lighting their way. How long before they realize what this really means? William checked his watch. General Foster should be activating the blackout in about 20 minutes. By tomorrow, the entire galaxy will know we're serious. They entered a small room where they could talk privately. Susan pulled out a tablet and showed William the latest reports. The screen showed maps, charts, and pictures of alien ships near Earth. "All the evidence is here," she said. "The Zentari have been taking our water for centuries. The Prill have been testing their technology on our people without permission. And the trade agreements?" She laughed without humor. "They've been giving us old technology while taking our best resources." William looked at the data. Earth had suspected these things for years, but only recently had they gotten proof. A group of human scientists had created a way to track the aliens' activities without the Council knowing. What they found made Earth's leaders very angry. "What about our people off-world?" William asked. "Most have been quietly brought home over the past month," Susan replied. "We still have about 300 humans on various stations and planets, too spread out to extract quickly without raising suspicion." William nodded. They knew the risks when they took those assignments. Susan's tablet beeped. She looked at it and her eyes widened. "Sir, General Foster has moved up the timeline. The blackout begins in 5 minutes. William wasn't surprised. Alan Foster had always been cautious. As the head of Earth's defense forces, he wouldn't take any chances once he knew the Council had been alerted to their plans. "We need to get to our ship now," William said. "This will be our last chance to use the transit system." They hurried through the station, ignoring the stares of aliens they passed. The Council station was huge, a massive structure floating in neutral space. It housed representatives from over 300 worlds. Until today, Earth had been one of them. Their ship waited in Docking Bay 47. It was small, but fast. One of Earth's newest designs. The pilot, a young woman named Laura Bell, was already running pre-flight checks when they arrived. "Ambassador, we're ready to go," she said. "But there's a problem. Station control is delaying our departure clearance." "Override it," William ordered. "Use the emergency protocols." Laura nodded and began typing quickly on her console. "They won't be happy about that." "They're already not happy," Susan pointed out. The ship's engines hummed to life. Outside the viewports, William could see station security officers running toward their docking bay. "Too late," he said with satisfaction as the ship lifted off. The security team's weapons wouldn't penetrate their shields anyway. As they flew away from the station, William's secure phone buzzed. The message was simple. "Operation Blackout complete. Earth is dark." All across the solar system, Earth's military had just shut down every alien communication relay. The transportation nodes that connected Earth to the galactic transit network were offline. Defensive ships moved into position around key points. For the first time in over a century, Earth had cut itself off from the rest of the galaxy. "Do you think they'll try to force us back?" Susan asked as their ship entered the transit point that would take them home. William looked at the council, station growing smaller behind them. "They'll try," he said, "but they don't know what we've been working on." For the past 20 years, Earth had been developing its own technologies in secret. While pretending to be dependent on council tech, human scientists had been reverse engineering everything the aliens shared, then improving it. Earth's new defense systems were better than anything the council had. The transit point activated, creating a swirling tunnel of light ahead of them. In moments, they would be back in Earth's solar system. "What happens now?" Laura asked from the pilot's seat. William watched as the stars stretched into lines around their ship. "Now we wait," he said. "The galaxy has taken Earth for granted, for too long. Let's see how they manage without us." As their ship shot through the transit tunnel, William thought about all the ways the galaxy depended on Earth without realizing it. Earth was positioned at a crucial point in the spiral arm, making it a vital link in trade routes. Earth's unique plant life provided medicines that no alien world could copy. Human creativity produced art and entertainment that had become popular across the galaxy. Soon, very soon, the Council would realize just how important Earth really was. And by then, it would be too late. The ship emerged from the transit tunnel into the familiar sight of Earth's solar system. Ahead of them, the blue planet waited, now surrounded by a new defense grid that hadn't been there when William left. Earth was ready. The galaxy was not. 3 months had passed since Earth cut ties with the Galactic Council. Kathleen Walsh stood at the viewing window of Nexus Station, watching alien ships come and go. She was one of the few humans still stuck off-world when the blackout happened. Now she made her living by trading information. "Excuse me, human," a voice said behind her. "I am told you might have news from Earth." Kathleen turned to see a tall, thin alien with pale blue skin. A Mycon trader, based on the markings on its clothes. She had dealt with many desperate aliens lately. "I have no direct contact with Earth," she said, which was true, no one did anymore. "But I know some things." "What are you offering?" The Mycon held out a small box. "Rare minerals from the Cygnus sector." Kathleen smiled. "Not interested. I need transport fuel or food. Please." The alien's voice grew softer. "My business is failing without Earth goods. My customers demand human art, human music. I can get you food." This was how it had been since Earth disappeared from galactic affairs. Aliens who had looked down on humans now begged for the smallest bit of human culture or goods. "Fine," Kathleen said. "What I've heard is that Earth is building up its defenses. They don't plan to come back to the Council." The Mycon's color darkened with distress. It wasn't much information, but these days any news about Earth was valuable. The alien handed over a card with food credits and hurried away. Across the galaxy, the effects of Earth's absence were being felt more each day. On the planet Administratum, where the Council's government buildings filled entire continents, Zintura rushed through crowded halls. As the Council's economic advisor, she carried bad news to another emergency meeting. The central chamber was less crowded than it had been 3 months ago. Many representatives had returned to their homeworlds to deal with local problems. Those who remained looked tired and worried. "The situation continues to get worse," Zintura announced to the Council. She showed charts on the large screen. All the lines pointed down. "Without Earth as a transit hub, shipping costs have risen by 300%. Some routes now take 4 times longer." An angry voice called out. Earth was just one world. How could this happen? Zintura sighed. Earth's position in the galaxy made it central to our fastest shipping lanes, but that's only part of the problem. She showed new images. Many medical treatments depended on Earth's plants. Entertainment. Systems across the galaxy are failing without human content updates. And there are reports of food shortages on 12 worlds that relied on Earth's exports. The High Speaker, a new one since Vox Null had been forced to step down, looked grim. What are our options? We could send a diplomatic mission, someone suggested. Earth's defenses shoot down any ship that comes close, another replied. Then we take what we need by force, shouted the Zentari representative. Far from these arguments, Dominic Reeves guided his ship through the darkness of space. The Northern Star was a small transport ship that had been far from Earth when the blackout happened. Now Dominic and his crew of 4 made their living by smuggling. 2 ships approaching, called Ben from the sensor station. Zentari military vessels. Dominic cursed. How did they find us? Someone must have talked about our cargo, said Rita the engineer. In the cargo hold, secured in special containers, were 200 pounds of coffee beans, the last known coffee in the Outer Rim, worth more than gold now. Hail from the Zentari, Ben reported. They're ordering us to stop and prepare for boarding, Dominic thought quickly. His ship was faster but less armed than the military vessels. Plot a course for the asteroid field, he ordered. We'll lose them there. The Northern Star changed direction sharply, picking up speed. Behind them, the Zentari ships followed. They're charging weapons, Ben warned. Evasive maneuvers, Dominic said calmly. Rita, give me everything the engines have. The ship shook as Rita pushed the engines beyond their limits. The first Zentari shots missed them by inches. The asteroid field loomed ahead, a dangerous maze of spinning rocks. They're still behind us, Ben said. Dominic smiled. Not for long. He had flown through this asteroid field many times. The Zentari had not. As they entered the field, Dominic guided his ship through tight spaces between giant rocks. Behind them, the Zentari ship slowed down. They're falling back, Ben reported after a few tense minutes. They're not following us in. The crew cheered. Their precious cargo was safe, for now. But Dominic wondered how long they could keep running. The galaxy was becoming more dangerous each day as desperate aliens fought over the remaining Earth goods. Back on Earth, Defense Secretary Patricia Young watched screens showing the planet's new defenses in action. A dozen alien probes had been detected trying to enter the solar system. Earth's new weapons had destroyed them all. Any signals? She asked the technician. The usual, he replied. Requests for trade, threats, offers of negotiation. Some ships are just broadcasting messages saying they'll pay anything for coffee or chocolate. Patricia almost smiled. Such small things, yet their absence was driving the galaxy crazy. General Alan Foster entered the control room. The new defense system is working perfectly, he said. No ship has gotten past the outer perimeter. Good, Patricia replied. How are our own projects coming along? Ahead of schedule. Without having to share our research with the Council, we're making breakthroughs every day. Our ships can now travel twice as fast as Council vessels, and the new communication system will be ready for testing next week. Patricia nodded with satisfaction. For years, Earth had pretended to need the Council's help while secretly developing its own technology. Now free from alien oversight, human innovation was exploding. And the colonies on Mars and Europa? Growing fast, Alan said. With all our resources focused on our own system rather than shipping goods across the galaxy, we can finally build the society we want. A new alert sounded. Patricia turned back to the main screen. What is it? Another alien fleet approaching from the direction of Alpha Centauri, the technician reported. Larger this time. Patricia and Alan exchanged looks. The aliens were getting more desperate. Soon they would come in force. Activate Defense Grid Section 5, Patricia ordered. Let's send them a message they won't forget. As Earth prepared for the coming storm, the rest of the galaxy continued to spiral into ever greater chaos. And this was just the beginning. 6 months had passed since Earth cut itself off from the galaxy. Jason Wright watched from the shadows of a busy bar on Hedonix, a planet once famous for its parties and pleasure houses. Now the mood was tense. 3 different alien species argued loudly at a nearby table. They were blaming each other for the problems that had spread across the galaxy since Earth's departure. Jason worked for Earth's intelligence service. He was one of the few human agents left in alien space to observe and report back. Using hidden technology, he could send messages that even the most advanced alien scanners couldn't detect. "The humans tricked us all," shouted a large Zentari warrior, his scales flashing with anger. "They pretended to be weak while building their strength." "Your people were the ones stealing their resources," replied a small, bird-like Loran. "The Zentari Empire has always been greedy." The third alien, a jelly-like quarrel, trembled nervously. "Please, friends, this fighting solves nothing. We must work together to—" The Zentari slammed a fist on the table. "There is no together anymore. The council is falling apart. My government has already claimed 3 new systems this month." Jason noted this information carefully. The Zentari Imperium was expanding, taking advantage of the chaos. This was important news for Earth. He slipped out of the bar and made his way through dark streets to his hidden transmitter. The once bright city was dimmer now. Energy shortages had hit many worlds as supply chains broke down. In a small room behind a repair shop, Jason activated his transmitter and sent an encrypted message. Zentari confirmed expanding into Loran territory. Council alliance breaking down. Prill systems going dark. Request instructions. The reply came faster than he expected. Continue observation. Avoid contact with Zentari forces. New extraction point coordinates attached if needed. Jason read the message. He heard heavy footsteps outside his door. Military boots. He quickly erased all evidence of the transmission and slipped out the back window just as the door burst open. Zentari security forces had found him, but they were too late. Across the galaxy, in the once Grand Council chamber, a very different scene was unfolding. The room that had once housed representatives from hundreds of worlds now held less than 50. Many had abandoned the council to focus on their own world's problems. The new high speaker, a Loran named Kai Zen, looked exhausted. "The latest reports are concerning," she said to the small group. "The Zentari have seized control of the Proxima shipping lanes. The Prill Collective has shut down all shared technology networks." "And the humans?" asked a council member. Kai Zen gestured to the empty chair where Earth's ambassador had once sat. "Still silent. Our last 3 diplomatic missions never returned. Their solar system is now surrounded by defenses we cannot penetrate." An aide rushed in and whispered something to Kai Zen. Her feathers flattened in alarm. "I've just received word that Vox Null, the former high speaker, has been arrested on his homeworld," she announced. "He has confessed to approving illegal research programs using human subjects without council approval. It seems he made private deals with various corporations." Shocked whispers filled the room. The corruption went deeper than anyone had suspected. "No wonder the humans left," someone said quietly. On Earth, Nicole Barker sat in her office at the intelligence headquarters. As Director of Intelligence, she was responsible for gathering and analyzing all information about the galaxy. The reports on her desk painted a troubling picture. 3 different alien species are planning to invade Earth, she told William Carter, who had been named Earth's security advisor after his return from the Council. The Zentari, the Vrel Hegemony, and the Talgari Union. Each wants exclusive control of our resources. William studied the reports. Can our defenses hold against all of them? Against one easily. Against all 3 at once? Nicole shook her head. It would be difficult. Then we need to make sure they don't attack at the same time, William said. What about our deep space monitoring? Nicole pulled up a new report on her screen. That's another problem. Our scientists are detecting strange readings from across the galaxy. Energy fluctuations, gravitational anomalies. Something fundamental is changing out there. William frowned. Could it be related to our withdrawal from the Council? Possibly. The Council's technology was built on systems that existed long before any current species joined. Some of our scientists think Earth played a more important role in maintaining those systems than anyone realized. Their conversation was interrupted by an alert. A technician rushed in. Director, we've detected a massive energy surge near Alpha Centauri, he reported. A Zentari battle fleet just appeared, at least 30 ships. Nicole and William exchanged worried looks. The invasion they had feared might be starting sooner than expected. Alert Defense Command, Nicole ordered. Activate the outer defense grid. As Earth prepared for a possible attack, strange events were occurring throughout the galaxy. On the mining colony of Deimos, Dr. Stephen Martinez and his team of engineers were about to test Earth's new faster-than-light communication system. Unlike the Council's technology, which required massive infrastructure that connected to central hubs, Earth's system worked differently. It was smaller, independent, and based on principles the Council had never explored. Power levels stable, reported Lisa Chen, one of the engineers. Quantum alignment at 100%. Stephen nodded. Begin the test transmission. The device hummed softly. On screens around the room, data flowed as the message traveled faster than light across the solar system. Transmission successful, Lisa announced as confirmation came back from the receiver on Pluto. The team cheered. This was the breakthrough Earth had been working toward for years. Now humans could communicate across vast distances without depending on alien technology. But as the celebration continued, one of the monitoring stations picked up something unexpected. When they activated their system, something ancient had responded from deep space. Something that had been waiting for a signal just like theirs. Stephen stared at the readings in disbelief. Get Defense Command on the line, he said urgently. And the Science Council. I think we just woke up something that's been sleeping for a very long time. As the first Zentari scouts approached the edge of Earth's solar system, they had no idea they were about to trigger events that would reveal the true history of the galaxy and humanity's forgotten place in it. 1 year had passed since Earth cut ties with the Galactic Council. The galaxy was now in open conflict for the first time in thousands of years. Old alliances were broken. Trade routes were dangerous or completely shut down. Many worlds struggled with shortages of food, medicine, and energy. Elizabeth Ward sat at a small table in the back of a dim restaurant on Station Neutral, a space station that had declared itself independent from all galactic powers. As a former Earth diplomat, she now worked secretly to gather information and make connections with alien species who might become Earth's allies. Today she was meeting with representatives from 12 different worlds. None of them were powerful enough to have a strong voice in the old council. Now they called themselves the non-aligned worlds. We thank you for meeting with us, said Krell, a small green alien with large eyes. Our worlds have suffered greatly since the council's collapse. The Zentari have taken control of trade in our sector. They demand high payments for protection. The same is happening in our region, added another alien. The Prill Collective has shut down all technology support. Our communication systems are failing. Elizabeth listened carefully. Earth had expected the galaxy to have problems without them, but the situation was worse than they had predicted. The Council had kept the peace for centuries, preventing stronger species from taking advantage of weaker ones. Without that balance, the old rules were gone. Earth is willing to help, Elizabeth said after everyone had spoken, but we need to be clear about what that means. We won't rejoin the old Council system. We can offer protection and technology sharing, but as equals, not masters or servants. The aliens looked at each other nervously. This was a new way of thinking. Under the Council, more advanced worlds had always controlled less developed ones. Earth was suggesting something different. Would Earth defend our worlds if the Zentari attack? Asked Krell. Elizabeth nodded. Yes, if you join our alliance. But you would also need to contribute to our shared defense. As they discussed the details, Elizabeth received an alert on her hidden communicator. She excused herself and stepped away to check the message. It was from Earth Defense Command. Multiple Zentari fleets on the move. Return immediately. Elizabeth. Quickly finished the meeting, getting agreements from all 12 worlds to join Earth's new alliance. She hurried to her ship, worried about what was happening back home. On Earth, in the underground control center of Defense Command, General Alan Foster watched screens showing the movements of alien fleets. The largest belonged to the Zentari, at least 100 ships gathering near Alpha Centauri. Smaller groups from other species were also moving toward Earth. "They're finally coming," Alan said to Patricia Young, who stood beside him. "Sooner than we expected." Patricia nodded. "Our outer defenses are ready, and we have some surprises they won't expect." The door opened, and William Carter entered with Nicole Barker. William looked worried. "The council has sent a message. They want to negotiate." Alan laughed without humor. "Now? After a year of silence, they want to talk when they see the Zentari are about to attack us?" "It's not that simple," Nicole said. "Our deep space monitors have detected something strange. The old council systems are becoming unstable. Their ships, their stations, even their weapons, they're all starting to fail." She showed them the latest reports. Across the galaxy, technology that had worked perfectly for centuries was breaking down. Energy sources were flickering. Faster-than-light drives were becoming dangerous to use. Something about Earth's absence from the network has triggered a slow collapse, Nicole explained. "Our scientists think the original builders of the galactic infrastructure must have placed Earth at the center of the system for a reason." Before they could discuss this further, an alert sounded. A small group of council ships had appeared at the edge of the solar system. Unlike the military vessels gathering for attack, these were diplomatic ships, and they looked damaged. "They're requesting permission to approach Earth," a technician reported. "Their message says it's urgent." After some discussion, Earth's leaders decided to allow a single council ship to come to Earth orbit under heavy guard. The ship that arrived was the council's diplomatic vessel, once the pride of their fleet. Now it showed signs of poor repair, with visible damage to its hull. The council delegation was led by Kai Zen, the Loran who had become High Speaker after Voxnal's removal. When she and her team were brought to Earth's government building, humans were shocked by how tired and desperate they looked. "Thank you for receiving us," Kai Zen said formally. "The Council wishes to open negotiations for Earth's return to the galactic community." William, representing Earth in the meeting, replied calmly, "The Council ignored our concerns for many years. You allowed other species to exploit us. Why should we return?" Kai Zen's feathers drooped. "Because the galaxy is dying without you," she said simply. "We didn't understand until it was too late. Earth is not just another world. It is a keystone that holds the galactic systems together." She showed them data that matched what Earth scientists had already discovered. The ancient technology that powered galactic civilization was failing without Earth's connection to the network. "We are willing to accept any terms," Kai Zen said. "The old council structure can be reformed. Earth can have a leading position." As they discussed possibilities, an urgent message came from Defense Command. The Zentari fleet had entered the solar system. Instead of waiting for diplomacy, they had decided to take Earth by force. They believe that controlling Earth will give them power over the failing systems, Kai Zen explained. They don't understand the true nature of the connection. William ended the meeting quickly. "Return to your ship," he told the council delegation. "Stay in orbit and do not interfere. Earth will handle the Zentari." As the Zentari fleet approached, Earth activated its defense systems. The technology Earth had developed independently was different from Council tech, and it worked perfectly. Energy beams shot out from platforms around Earth, stopping the first wave of Zentari ships with ease. But there were too many ships to stop them all. Some got through and began landing troops. The battle for Earth had begun. Meanwhile, on the Yai, distant research station where Dr. Stephen Martinez had discovered the ancient signal, something remarkable was happening. The signal had grown stronger, and the station's computers were translating it. The message was in a language no living being had spoken for millions of years. But somehow, Lisa Russell, a young technician working there, found she could understand it. The words seemed to speak directly to her mind, and what they revealed would change everything humans thought they knew about their place in the galaxy. The battle for Earth had been raging for 3 days. The Zentari had landed troops in several locations, but Earth's military was holding them back. In orbit, Earth's defense platforms continued to destroy enemy ships. William Carter watched from the command center as reports came in from around the world. Earth was winning, but at a cost. Cities had been damaged, People had died. This was exactly what Earth had hoped to avoid by cutting ties with the Galactic Council. "Sir," a communications officer called out. "We're receiving a strange message. It's coming from our research station on Deimos." William walked over to see. Dr. Stephen Martinez appeared on the screen. He looked excited despite the ongoing battle. "We've translated the signal," Stephen said quickly. "And there's more. Lisa Russell, one of our technicians, has somehow activated ancient systems we didn't even know existed. You need to see this now." William hesitated. The battle needed his attention. But something in Stephen's voice told him this was important. "Send the data," he ordered. The information that appeared on his screen changed everything. William stared at it for a long minute, then made a decision that would reshape the galaxy. "Get me a ship," he said to his staff. "I'm going to the council chamber." His advisors protested. It was too dangerous. The Zentari controlled much of the space between Earth and the council station. "This can't wait," William insisted. "And I need to deliver this message in person." Using Earth's most advanced stealth ship, William slipped past the Zentari blockade. The ship was small and fast, with technology the aliens had never seen before. It took him 12 hours to reach the council station. When he arrived, he found the once grand station in poor condition. Power systems flickered. Whole sections were dark. Most alien representatives had fled as the station's systems failed. The few council members who remained were shocked when William walked into the chamber unannounced. He carried a small device that projected a holographic display. "What you are about to see will change everything you thought you knew about the galaxy," William said. He activated the device. The hologram showed images from across the galaxy, going back thousands of years. But it didn't stop there. It kept going, showing millions of years of history that no living being remembered. Earth was not just another world, William explained as the images played. Humans were not just another species. Millions of years ago, humans built the first civilization that traveled between stars. Humans created the Galactic Council. The aliens stared in disbelief. William continued. "A great disaster happened. Some kind of war or natural event. The humans who survived returned to Earth. Their memories of the past erased. Their civilization reset to its beginning." The hologram showed ancient humans building the first council chamber, creating the technology that all galactic species now used. "The systems you've used for centuries were built by humans. That's why Earth's position in the galaxy was so important. The entire infrastructure was centered around it from the start." William pointed to specific parts of the display. "The technologies you've shared with us over the years were just pale copies of what humans created long ago. That's why Earth's resources were so valuable to you. You were trying to recreate what had been lost." One council member, an ancient quarrel, trembled. "Is this why our systems are failing now that Earth has cut its connection?" William nodded. "The original builders, our ancestors, designed everything to work with Earth at the center. Without that connection, the systems are returning to their dormant state." As the council members tried to understand this revelation, an alarm sounded. Zentari ships had found the council station. They were attacking, hoping to capture William and force Earth's surrender. "This station is about to be destroyed," William said calmly. "Anyone who wants to live should come with me now." He led a small group of council members to his ship. As they escaped, they watched the ancient council station break apart under Zentari fire. Centuries of galactic history were lost in moments. When they returned to Earth, William found the tide of battle had turned. Earth's forces had pushed back the Zentari invaders. In orbit, something strange was happening to the enemy ships. Their weapons and engines were shutting down one by one. On Earth, in a small control room, Lisa Russell sat with her hands on an ancient control panel that had appeared from within the walls of the research station. Somehow, her touch had activated systems that had been sleeping for millions of years. "I can feel them," she said to Dr. Martinez. "The networks, the connections. They recognize me. All across the galaxy, forgotten systems were waking up. On hundreds of worlds, hidden technology began to reveal itself. And everywhere, These ancient machines responded to human commands. As William brought the council representatives to Earth's government building, Patricia Young gave him an update. "The Zentari are retreating," she said. "Their ships stopped working, and we're getting messages from all over the galaxy. On every world where humans have lived or visited, ancient technology is activating." The remaining council aliens watched, in awe as humans took control of systems no other species had been able to access. Earth's position as the forgotten creator of galactic civilization was now clear to everyone. In the weeks that followed, the galaxy began to stabilize. Earth extended an offer to all species, a new council, built on true equality. Humans would share their rediscovered knowledge, but never again would one world control another. The old system of exploitation was over. Some species resisted at first. The Zentari Empire tried to keep fighting with conventional weapons after their advanced technology failed, but they soon discovered that humans had not just reclaimed their ancient knowledge, they had improved upon it. 1 month after the battle, for Earth, representatives from 200 worlds gathered in a new council chamber built in orbit around Earth. William Carter, now named High Ambassador, addressed them. "For too long the galaxy forgot its history," he said. "Earth was not just a minor world on the edge of space. Humanity was not just a young species to be exploited. We were the founders, the builders, the original explorers of the stars." He looked around at the alien faces. Some showed fear, others hope. "We do not seek revenge for how Earth was treated," William continued. "Instead, we offer a new beginning, a galaxy where knowledge is shared freely, where no species dominates another, where we all move forward together." As the new council began its work, humans across the galaxy continued to discover more of their forgotten heritage. The future would be different now. Earth had cut itself off from the old council, and in doing so, had found its true place in the stars.